Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Everyone, welcome back to the Gritcast. Matt, how are you doing, man?
Excellent. In about 2 hours from the time we're recording this, I am hopping on a flight, and I'm excited.
Yeah, we will get into that later in the show, guys. We are back. We took a little bit of a hiatus. School caught up to me. Darius was a little sick, and yeah, Matt could have done it, but we just didn't do it. So yeah, guys, how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? We're back 2 weeks into the NHL season. A lot of storylines actually today, so it should be a lot of fun. But Darius, how you feeling today, man? How's it going?
You know, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking, Nick. I was a little bit sick last week, but I did want to say that the Gritcast is now brought to you in part by Snipe Shell Hockey Apparel. All right, get your toques today. Look at this, absolute beauty. Hot seller, this one. Everyone likes the black, so hot seller. We also got them in blue, very nice. All right. And a multitude of different colors, so please go check out the Instagram, as well as my favorite hat, or I think it's hilarious, but the kids love it. These Pucks is here, so go check them out on Instagram. The link is in the bio. Nick, let's get into this week's storylines.
Use code Gritcast for...
There is no code yet.
for no discount whatsoever.
I should mention the hats are $35, and if you live in Canada, there is free shipping, so capitalize today.
Yeah, so if you use code Gritcast and you live in Canada, it's free shipping, guys.
There you go. Yeah.
Just DM the Snipe Show Apparel account, Gritcast, full caps. If you're from Canada, you get free shipping. All right, guys, let's get into the show here. So first things first, we did have a big news drop this morning in the NHL. Matt, can you tell me what happened?
Yes. Shane Pinto of the Ottawa Senators is on a contract holdout, RFA, was suspended for 41 games, which is half a season, for gambling. The gambling specifics were not put into detail. And yeah, nothing else I can really say about it, but it's kind of hypocritical on the NHL where like they're throwing gambling ads in your face every 5 seconds. A player gambles, didn't say if it was on the Sens, didn't say if it was on hockey or any sport in general.
They said it wasn't on hockey.
It wasn't on hockey. Okay, yeah. Well then what is the big deal? What's the big deal?
Okay, before we
I don't
dive
understand
into
it though, because this just dropped, right? I just saw it like a little while ago. So like, what is the big deal, Nick? If you have more info, like, I don't get it.
Let's get into the statements that were dropped by the player and the team today.
Okay. So
statement from the Ottawa Senators: we were made aware of the National Hockey League investigation into this matter, and additional information was made available to the club upon the completion of the league's investigation yesterday. Shane is a valued member of our hockey club. Can't be that valuable considering you're not going to pay him. But an engaging, intelligent young man who made poor decisions that have resulted in a suspension by the National Hockey League. We know he is remorseful for his mistakes. The Ottawa Senators fully support the NHL's rules on gambling. While saddened to learn of this issue, the entire organization remains committed to Shane, and we will work together to do what is necessary to help provide the support to allow him to address his issues and become a strong contributor to our community. When the time is right, and with the league's blessing, we'll welcome him back to our organization and embrace him as one of our own. Statement from Shane Pinto: I want to apologize to the National Hockey League, Ottawa Senators, my teammates, and the fans, and the state of Ottawa, and most importantly to my family. I take full responsibility for my actions and look forward to getting back on the ice with my team. Now, there was also a Friedman like article that came out or something like that that said, I don't know if it was Friedman specifically, it might have been him, that like Pinto was very appreciative of the secrecy the Senators gave him, which is interesting to me because from that statement it sounded like they recently learned about this. And then I also want to pull up this statement here. This is a statement from NHL PR about Shane Pinto. The National Hockey League announced today that it has suspended NHL player Shane Pinto for 41 games for activities related to sports wagering. The league investigation found no evidence that Pinto made any wagers on NHL games. Now, the NHL considers this matter closed. Absent the emergence of new information, they'll have no further comment. Now, this has sparked a lot of stuff on Twitter because despite them saying this is closed, this is still very confusing because I did see some some screenshots from the CBA that was like, you're not allowed to wager on NHL games, but it looked like other sports were permissible. And from this statement, it says that he did not bet on NHL games. So, and I think we're all in agreement here. Is 41 games justifiable for this type of thing? Like, people get checked in the head. Like, Rasmus Anderson just murdered or, like, killed Patrick Line the other day and got 4 games. And Shane Pinto bet on a non-hockey game and got 41 games. So, guys, what is your opinions on the suspension?
I think it's kind of dumb. Like, there's nothing more I can say about it.
Unless more info comes out, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Like, if he was betting on his own games, then yeah, suspend him for the year, right? Never mind 41 games, suspend him the year, and make an example out of him. But if he bet on the NBA, like what's the problem? Unless he has a problem, and then if he has a gambling
don't
addiction,
suspend him. Don't
suspend him. Get him help, right? But I don't understand the 41. Like, where does that come from? We need more information because it's very confused. And I was looking at the statement you just read. Somebody, I should say, Maguire Petrov tweeted out the statement, and then at the bottom it says, "The suspension is brought to you by FanDuel, Bet365, DraftKings, and BetMGM."
Well, it's funny because
Bruce Nick. Bruce Garriock, the main Sens guy for the Ottawa Sun, he's on TSN. He said league sources say Pinto's online gambling account in the United States was flagged by a company that is a partner of the league because of unusual activity in a contact of the NHL's head office recently. So it's more of a recent event instead of like far back, like in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But
what kind of activity?
Games?
Sorry, what was the word they used? What kind of activity?
Sorry, because unusual activity. Now that's very ambiguous.
But what is the issue? I need to see in the CBA something that says like you can't bet period if you're a hockey, like if you play in the NHL. Because if he's betting on NBA or NFL games, I don't see an issue with that. There's no what conflict of interest is there at all? I don't see a problem with it.
The league's investigation found no evidence that Pinto made any wagers on NHL games. But also, players are allowed to wager on other sporting events, and it's not unusual for a team to have weekly NFL pools in the room. So it's got to be something deeper than that.
Yeah, we need more info. That's weird, man.
Everything that's been sent out by the NHL, by like reporters and everything, by the Senators, it's all a little conflicting. Mm-hmm. Like the NHL just says we have no more comment on the matter, but then the CBA says, it's fine to bet on non-NHL games. Like for stuff like that, and then the statement also says he wasn't found to be betting on NHL games.
There's also the fact that there's people reporting that because he's not signed, the ban has not started yet. Like his suspension has not started until he's signed.
I saw that. I think Friedman tweeted that it's retroactive to the first Senators game.
The first Senators game, and that rule has been waived for him. Are we just making up rules on the fly now?
No, okay. Let me just try and pull up Elliot Friedman's Twitter. So
and we have a topic later that the NHL is very going, they're just doing shit.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Oilers too. They're just doing shit.
Not wrong.
So Pinto's, first he tweeted, there was reports that Pinto's suspension starts when his contract is signed.
Correct.
That apparently is not true. Mm-hmm. Then Elliot Friedman tweets, told Pinto's suspension officially begins with so it's retroactive to Ottawa's first game of the season. Okay?
Yeah.
And then it's not dependent on him signing a contract. Now there is word that because he was suspended as an RFA without a contract while the season started, the December
1st deadline for an RFA.
December 1st deadline does not count. So he can be signed post December 1st and still play a game. But apparently Freeman also added to this. This deadline is irrelevant to the suspension situation. It's just because he's unable to sign an offer sheet. I think he was one of those RFAs where like you can't offer sheet him. So that's another thing. This is one of the most confusing things I've ever seen. It's wild for the NHL to just be like, we will not comment on this anymore unless new information arises. There's not enough information.
But there's not enough information, so why? He's not even playing. So why wouldn't you
signed.
wait? Yeah, why wouldn't you just wait to collect everything and then make like a good statement? The NHL stinks, man. This league stinks.
See, they released something before having all the info, and then there's not enough clarification.
No,
No,
it's
not
like
at
jumping
all.
the gun.
Yeah.
It's like jumping the gun. And then another thing is like it's interesting too because there was word that the Sens tried to like keep this a little under wraps. I don't
Quiet,
know.
yeah.
I saw it in a statement, and then it's like there's always conspiracy theories with this. I love entertaining them, whether they're real or not. I think it's always fun to do stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so the Sens are in a negotiation with Shane Pinto over probably a couple $100,000, right?
Mhm.
And then they're helping Shane Pinto by not exposing this to the world about his contract. Okay, now the Sens fans, this was actually a conspiracy theory that me and a couple buddies talked about. So it's like, okay, the Sens fans, they start chanting sign Pinto a couple games ago. The Sens, they're on a little bit of a downturn right now. They're not playing that great. Now, all of a sudden, the guy who Sens fans want to be signed will hopefully help them play again. This gambling thing comes out. Maybe it's like, look, man,
Or like a
we're
smoke
helping
screen.
you. Yeah, we're helping you with this gambling thing. The least you could do is sign your fucking contract. And then he didn't do that. So now they're doing this. Whether that's true or not, who knows? I just think it's always fun to think about stuff like this. Matt, do you what do you think of the situation, man? Do you think there's any legitimacy to what I could be talking about here at all?
See, I can't not disagree. Like that seems very plausible. Where they sort of, I don't want to say they blackmailed him, but it was a
No.
little forceful push.
Yeah. It's interesting. Darius, any final thoughts on this before we move on
No,
here?
honestly, I don't want to comment more until we get more information because there's a lot of conflicting reports, and honestly, like face value, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get it. So
I don't get it.
before we move on, guys, suspension. So what do you guys think is worse? Rafi Torres hitting a guy in the head 27 times, or gambling on a sport that you don't play? You gotta ask the question. What do you guys think?
The second one.
How many games did? Hold on, I'm trying to think of Chris Simon. Remember when he baseball swung at Ryan Holweg?
It was 42.
Hold on.
Riveting podcast here, folks.
Absolutely. 30. So Simon got 30 games for stomping on, I believe it was
Ryan Hallweg.
no, for Yarko Rutu.
Oh, sorry. Different incidences.
So Simon was not allowed to play Saturday and will miss the Islanders' remaining 14 games. This was back in 2007, and then the Islanders got swept by Buffalo. So he missed 18 games for baseball swinging a guy right in the face. But Shane Pinto, 41 games for betting on a sport that's not hockey. That
And also,
doesn't make sense.
I will say there is a picture going around of Shane Pinto wearing the Sens gear, and he has like a Bet 99 ad on his helmet. So it's very pick and choose here with what's okay and what's not, because
what is that about? They have don't bet, but it's on their helmets,
It's like
and
a
also
team
it's on
having
their
like
jerseys.
it's like a team having like the NRA logo on their helmet, and then one of their players goes to like a shooting range. Nope, suspended. You can't do that.
Can't do that, man.
Or it's like-
man.
or it's like if they were like sponsored by like a beer company and then they go out drinking. It's like, hey, bro, I don't know if you can do that, bro. You're not allowed, even though you're sponsored by the team. It's dumb. I don't think this is. I think 41 games is a lot, but despite all this, Shane Pinto is still not under contract. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And
It's
before we
crazy
move
to
on
me.
from the Sens, 38 minutes ago, do you guys know Lalim's Martian? That account? It's like a popular Sens
yeah,
account.
I saw that. I saw that.
Pierre Dorian will be relieved of his duties as Senators GM per the streets. So word on the streets.
For the streets.
That's a good start to the tenure of Michael Anlauer as the Sens
man.
owner.
Brutal.
That's what
brutal.
That's what the streets are saying. The
That
streets
is what
want
the streets
Pierre
are
Dorian
saying.
gone. And yeah, man, it's dude, every year Senators fans in the offseason get so fucking amped for this team, and they are currently sitting at 5. They're playing at 5. They're playing 500 hockey.
Dude,
they're 3-3-0.
the hype
Must be
around the
nice.
Canadians, and the Sens the last two off seasons for them to just absolutely toilet their season in the first weeks is amazing. Amazing to see.
Yes,
it's so funny.
It's honestly all the NHL teams in Canada. There's been some interesting stuff going on. So
No, Leafs are perfect.
Yeah, it's true. It's damn true. Okay, let's move into another interesting topic of conversation in the league of the NHL. I'm sure our TikTok and Instagram reel comments will love this segment. They always
yeah.
seem to do. Travis Dermott wore the pride tape. He had like a little roll of tape on his stick during one of the games, and it was caught and posted all over socials, because this was obviously banned by the NHL. But we already all agreed that was a stupid idea, and the NHL walked back the rule like the next day. All it took was one player to do. So it's funny
As we know they would.
First of all, all it took was one player to get the pride tape banned, and then all it took was one player for it to come back. I don't know what's going on. Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm just curious to see what happens on Pride nights or any other specialty nights where the jerseys are made, because I know some teams still make the jerseys. They don't wear them. But what's stopping a player from wearing the jersey during the warm-up? What are they going to do? Or like a multiple players, like a whole team, are they just going to say, okay, you forfeit the game? No. So it's just going to take another player to get like the jerseys back again.
Yeah.
I agree. Here's what you think.
Guys, it's 2023. And I think it's really weird when organizations and whomever make decisions based on what the minority wants or is what's calling for. It's just stupid. Good for Travis Dermott. I think Chris Johnson said, I don't know if you saw, but he saw that so Dermott knows somebody who came out to him but is still closeted. So it's really like near and dear to Dermott's heart. So he went out of his way.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm wearing the tape. Not wearing it. I'm putting it on my stick, whatever. Which is technically not against the equipment rule anyway. So, man. And as we all know what happened, everyone talked about it when they released this before the season started. They were going to walk it back because somebody was going to do it. So,
of course.
Here we are. Oh, our bad guys. We made another mistake.
Yeah,
on top of the other mistakes that we
all
made.
of the other mistakes, always.
Yeah, and I don't really understand. Honestly, not too much to say about this. It feels like we talk about pride in the NHL way too much because there's always some there's a lot of good things that teams do. It just seems like the league as a whole at the top is not they don't really have any concrete opinions on what's going on here. But
like, are we gonna ban Matthews like custom skates now? His custom Christmas skates and shit. Like what?
I don't know.
It's all under the come on, guys.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I wish I could care that much about anything, actually.
I'm glad Dermott put the tape on. It's good to see someone else doing that, and I hope more players do it when the Pride nights actually happen, or just in general. So that would be cool.
I think Arizona's is this week. Just a quick shout out. I'm pretty sure it's tonight actually as we're recording this. So it was pretty
that's cool.
Timely with him. With them unbanning it, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So yeah, once again, the NHL has no backbone, so that's always cool. All right, let's get into the next segment. The Toronto Maple Leafs. They just, I believe, they're on a little 2-game win streak or something right now, maybe 3. Little heater. Joseph Woll against Tampa. He comes in after the Leafs go down 3 goals on 4 shots from Samsonov. Comes in, backs off at Matthew Nyes, pots 2 off assists from Max Domi. Max Domi has a great night, as does Nyes. And Joseph Woll, Keith kind of basically said he's the starter now. He started against Washington, which is usually Samsonov's game, and he's going to start tonight against Dallas. Curious, did you think this would happen this fast?
Yeah, because honestly, yes, because we talked about it at the end of last year in our last couple shows. Samsonov is who we think he is, and Woll is also who we think he is, and Woll is a better goalie, and he's also younger. So I'm not surprised. I'm not
younger by like a year.
Whatever. He's younger. I'm not surprised that it's a storyline because they did kind of, brand, I guess, Samsonov as like the starting goalie, even though they're kind of a tandem and they're going to go back and forth between them. But I'm not surprised Woll is better. Like the way he talks about his game and what he does in preparation, the way he played in the playoffs, he's ready. And he's showing it. Washington stinks this year. Okay, if anyone's been paying attention, they are terrible. They're way worse than we all thought they would be. They're so bad. And they kicked the Leafs' ass for 60 minutes, and Woll was the only reason they won.
Yep.
In my opinion. I know they scored 4 goals, but come on, he kept them in it when they needed it. That's what good goaltending does for good teams. Wins you games.
It helps when Kemper's also not playing that great that night too. So that was cool. But
Nylander's going sick though. Nasty.
Well, the thing is too, like watching that game, Matt's not going to get too much airtime in the segment, but the thing about that game is like I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, I know we're getting outshot like 37-18, but it's like I don't feel like I'm in danger.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, like Ovechkin would shoot it and it'd be like from really far away, which he can pot those, but it's like it didn't feel that dangerous. And also, like, man, I was watching Ovechkin that game and I'm like, look, man, I know he scored, but it's like, is my goal washed? Is my goal
Dude,
washed?
half the shots he took were into the chest.
I know.
Terrible. They were terrible. He took one wrist shot where he looked somebody off. I forget who it was. And I was like, that was the shot you took? That's the shot you take?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know
Or
what's going on.
even his penalty shot too. Like,
Oh,
why are
man.
you going to the backhand?
Dude.
That was the saddest backhand ever. Just rifle it.
It was an
You have a
NHL
shot.
Yeah, it was an NHL 07 move.
Yeah,
Which he was on the cover on.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think he's washed, but he's struggling, man, for sure, to start the year.
The whole team is struggling. It's rough when, like, he doesn't have, like, Ovechkin is a good goal scorer. Sorry, the best goal scorer of all time, obviously. But it's like, it'd be helpful if, like, Backstrom wasn't, like, awful. You know what I mean? So that'll be a storyline throughout the season. John Tavares, William Nylander, Austin Matthews all look insanely good. Tavares especially, I'm very happy for him. Like, I'll admit it, I'm one of the guys who's been kind of low on him the past year and a half. Like, I haven't really loved the way he's played, but he's looked great. He's getting in the right spots all the time. It's shooting a lot. Nylander's looked fucking insane. He's arguably looked like the best player on the team, despite Matthews having back-to-back hat tricks. And Darius, where's Mitch Marner at, bro?
Dude, to go back for a second? Nylander's playing like F you. Like, give me my money. Give me my money.
Give him a blank check.
Yeah. Like, everyone can look at the stats, but if you watch the games, bro, he's dancing around. It's so stupid. I've never seen him play like this. Anyway, Marner, ghost, gone. Woo. Hasn't showed up yet. It is October, and it is Halloween next week. Let's hope he shows up in November, because October, like normally, woo, he's a ghost. Man, he's chipping in for a couple assists here and there. I picked him on my fantasy team. This guy's the worst player on my team, okay? This guy has not shown up yet at all, which is okay, because, if you have at least 2 or 3 of the big guys going, I think you're okay, right? And then Marner, hopefully picks up the slack when a couple guys, are not feeling it throughout the season, right? But, man, I would like to see more out of him. Like, he's hustling out there, but there's just some, like, brain-dead plays, I find, still. Like, I don't know. He's just, it's a little frustrating. But, you mentioned, like, the Knies picking up 2 goals and Domi the other night. A lot of people are like, Domi didn't have a great start to the year. Like, he's invisible, all this shit, right? I think the Leafs picked up guys like him and Bertuzzi to, like, complement the top guys, of course, but also to chip in when they need. Like, the top guys couldn't score in that game against Tampa, and then Domi chips in for, to assist 2 goals. Knies finally gets his first 2 NHL goals, and they win the game because of that. Like, they needed that depth scoring, and they win the game because of that. Against Washington, big guys come. They score the goals, right? So you're only going to need the chip. Domi's not going to score 30 goals, guys. Like, he needs to chip in when he needs and adds that grit on the side, right? That's why they signed him. So let's not overreact about Domi. He's also a point-a-game player. So I don't know. Toronto's crazy. This guy's a point-a-game player still.
Darius, I got a question for you, buddy.
Yeah.
What's the plan with Klingberg?
Oh, okay. Another thing, man, I've been waiting to get on the podcast to bring this up. The worst, I cannot remember. David Clarkson's the last guy that is as bad as the signing. This guy stinks. What, Klingberg?
I don't mind it. I don't see. I'll tell you why. Number one, I really like him on the power play. He's looked good. It's nice having the right shot to Matthews on the left side.
Okay.
I think that's useful.
Yep.
He's also good at, like, I know Riley's really good at keeping it in. He had a couple plays against Washington where I'm like, damn, he really did keep this in, which is cool.
True.
They've also I was just digging into it just because, Darius, I'm also a little bit in agreement with you. Like, I don't really understand the merit behind it when you had Morgan Riley or, like, whatever. They paired him with Mark Giordano a little bit, and that pair actually looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in the defensive zone, which is surprising because Klingberg, we know he's not that great in the defensive zone. So
boy.
I think they'll give that a little bit more runway. He has a game against his former team in Dallas tonight. I'm sure he'll be a little bit fired up for that, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, look, man, I don't think it's a great signing. I liked I don't think the Reeves sign. I think the honeymoon phase with Ryan Reeves is ending very quickly. I will say that it seems like it is. It seems like it is. I don't know about you guys. I don't know, Darius, if you're feeling that too.
No.
Like very quickly.
I love him.
But because like, dude, I saw a lot of people like I love Ryan Reeves is cool, but I've seen a lot of people who are like really hyped for him, like on Twitter, and like they just hate him now.
Like, what are you trying to expect out of Reeves? Like he's
No, I
This
there.
is
really
the whole
know.
debate. This is the whole debate over the last week. Like the first week, it was just a honeymoon phase, like you said. But over the last week, they're like, his goals for 60 expected, whatever the stat is the worst on the team. Yeah, man. What did you expect?
don't
it to
say.
be third? Yeah, it was always
I
going to be
think-
worst on the team.
Here's the thing. Last year he had like a 48% expected goals percentage, which you know what? It's pretty good for
That's
Ryan
pretty
Reeves.
good for Ryan Reeves.
This year it's like 29, bro. It's like, come on.
Okay,
like 29 is
first
bad.
of all, we're 6 games in, right?
No, I know.
Second of all,
And he's playing with like David Camp, bro. Like no offense to David Camp.
David Camp can't score for his life. That's not what he does. That's not what he was
Also,
signed. That's not what he's paid good money to do.
That's why I like having David Camp between Nyes and Domi, because Nyes and Domi, you know, they can't really chip in defensively, but
It's
Camp
true.
will do that. And then you have like Noah Gregor, I think has looked decent, good shot. He's a crazy.
Oh,
release.
great signing. Great signing. He's looked amazing.
Yeah.
He's fast.
And
He
then-
hits like amazing. All you need in a fourth.
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. So I'm not ready to bring out the pitchforks for Ryan Reeves yet. So I don't know. We'll I think
He's
as the
not there
season
to
goes-
score. He could go the whole year without scoring a goal, and he's done his purpose. He's fulfilled his purpose.
And I also think people are overreacting because I feel like eventually you'll start to see him play less games. I just think that's what's gonna happen.
He's not going to play all 82. He's not going to play.
So-
and tonight, I bet he fights tonight. He hasn't fought in like 2-3 games. He'll fight tonight.
Yeah.
He's gonna,
Oh,
he's
he's gonna
good for a
fight
fight every
Jamie
2
Benn?
games.
Ryan Suter. You're gonna fight Ryan Suter.
Oh,
I don't know. He'll fight
God.
somebody. He'll beat the shit out of somebody. He'll find somebody to beat up. Like that's what he's there to do. Watch, especially
But
if
yeah,
they're not
so-
going early.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then I haven't hated Klingberg too much yet. I don't love it, but I haven't hated him too much yet.
Well, you will.
I think
You will.
I think Bertuzzi is I think he's playing a little bit hurt. I don't know what's going on
He
there.
has
'Cause
to
he's
be
looked
hurt.
decent, but
Yeah, no,
but
has to be
he's
hurt.
looked decent because he's had a couple of maintenance days in practice. So we'll see what happens.
But
there.
everywhere he's been to, like before you move on, everywhere he's been, like especially Detroit, he was usually like the guy on his line, right? So now you come here and you're like the third guy on your line, right? And he's been moved
Yeah.
around, and I'm sure he's hurt. Like they said last week, he's battling something. So he'll find his groove. It's a new team, new
See, bro.
system. They keep shuffling him around. Like he's a good player. He's gonna figure it out. Especially when screw the regular season, get to the playoffs. Let's talk about it because this team's gonna make the playoffs. So
Yeah. Matt, I'm sorry. Last thing here. Also, like, man, if a guy's hurt, bro, don't play him. We're 7 games in.
yeah, it's
Don't play the
October.
guy.
Yeah.
Don't
Probably
play the guy.
rest him.
And like, you have like Nick Robertson sitting in the minors scoring a shit ton of goals right
Who's
now.
waiver
Like,
exempt,
just-
by the way.
Yeah.
Bring
just
him up,
call-
man.
Anyway, yeah. So the Leafs are in Dallas tonight facing the Stars. We'll see what happens there. Now let's move on to some of like the neutral storylines we have outside of the Leafs and the Oilers. Hot starts, stuff like that. The Boston Bruins, after losing
They do
Patrice
this.
Bergeron and David Krejci,
They will never
Um,
die.
they're
It's so
never gonna
sickening.
lose again.
It's
They're
ne-
never gonna lose again because Jeremy Swayman and Linus Allmark are the most insane goaltending tandem we have ever fucking seen. Matt, thoughts on the Bruins?
Every time I didn't count out the Bruins, but every time the majority of the public goes, "This is the year. This is the year Boston finally crumbles," and then they don't. And like I said, I don't think they'll ever lose again. Like,
It's
just let them suck, please. 1 year. 1 year.
It's like Shorzy. I don't know. You guys don't watch Shorzy, but for anyone who
Yeah,
does
I do.
listening to
I
this,
do.
okay, where he's like, "We'll never lose again," and then they think
That's
he's
exactly
bullshitting,
what the Bruins are.
and they think he's bullshitting. They'll never lose again. They'll never lose again. Although I think their depth is gonna catch up to them at some point. Like, a hot start, 6-0. All right, guys.
Like it's
You're
the
relying a
Bruins.
lot
They
on
could have
goaltending.
some
Yeah.
they could have some AI generated fourth liner, and then he's gonna turn into like God.
Bro,
Like
they
I don't want
already
to count
have
them out, but like Pavel Zacha is your number one center. It has to catch up at some point. It has to.
I will say they already have an AI generated fucking second line center. Matthew.
Whoa,
Portis.
put some
Guelph Storm?
put some
Fortress from the
respect on him.
Guelph Storm,
Yeah,
second round
so-
pick from
okay,
last year, and he's in
second
the
round pick
lineup.
from last year, and he's the 2C. He already has 3 goals in 6 games, and he has 4 points playing 2C for them. That's crazy.
Can
Good
I
for
just
them.
bring up too that He's a second-round pick from last year. You're not supposed to make the NHL, quote unquote, right? Guelph has built their whole team around him coming back this year to go for the Memorial Cup, and he's not. He's not gonna come back. He's gonna stay with the Bruins. He's gonna stay with the Bruins.
That's rough. But hey, man, that's the life of the fucking
That's
CHL,
the old, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Last year
they were building.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
Dude, last year in golf, he had 95 points in 63 games, 79 assists and 16 goals. Holy shit!
Good player.
How does he have more? How does he have more goals than assists in the end? What the fuck? Okay, but yeah,
the Bruins are gonna rely on that.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's just, dude, their goaltending is insanity. The Bruins, fuck the Bruins. I hate them so much. But let's move on to the next team that's going insane. The Vegas Golden Knights, after winning the Stanley Cup. They I think, what is it? NHL record best start after winning a cup, Curious?
Correct. And Matt would know that because the former record is the Edmonton Oilers.
See, that I didn't even know. Yeah, like
Really?
the Knights are 7-0.
This guy's a casual. Anyway, so the Golden Knights are doing this, like, Alex Pietrangelo hasn't played every game. Alec Martinez hasn't played every game. Shea Theodore is once again stepping into it.
Boss
Next
level.
man up mentality. He's fucking sick. Great player. And yeah, everyone's looking. Mark Stone. We were talking about injuries and stuff. He looks fine. After all that, which is crazy.
And
everyone's
leading point getter Chandler Stevenson, as we all predicted.
Who was due for a contract extension. So we'll see what happens with that.
Else.
Ivan Barbashev is looking great, dude. That team is good, man. Matt, what do you see from the Golden Knights so far?
Just more of the same from last year. I had them to take the President's Trophy this year. So, and they're living up to my prediction.
Yeah, they're looking great.
Like, firing on all cylinders, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they're gonna walk away with the. They're not even gonna run. They're gonna walk away with the Pacific Division title.
Yeah, it seems like it. After Darius, me and you have the Oilers first in our predictions. I think.
And yikes!
Yeah.
Yikes!
It's not looking great.
No.
And Matt, the Oilers fan, had them second. So yeah, we'll get into the Oilers.
That's
in
still a little bit too high.
Seems like it. But another thing that's going on, the Colorado Avalanche, they are also looking very, very good.
Yeah.
Alexander Georgiev is like the best goalie in the league or something. So that's cool. I got him in a fantasy league, and then I picked Vasilevsky like 8 rounds later because he's injured. So I'm pretty happy with that. Once Vasilevsky comes back, that should be good. But yeah, he's looked good. Apparently I've seen some like tweets about how Jonathan Drouin is just out there doing cardio, which sucks. I thought he was gonna work there, but it is what it is. And yeah, they look great as well.
He could still end up working. I mean, he hasn't been the guy for a long time, right? So.
And he also like hasn't like played consistently, like consistent games in a long time.
Yeah.
But you know who has looked good there? There's a little bit of question marks about Ryan Johansson. He's fit in nicely in that 2C. That was a very smart acquisition from Joe Sakic and the rest of the front office in Colorado. So good for them there. They really needed a 2C after Newhook didn't fit there. Comfer left for Detroit for a lot of money. So that's good for them. And then also the Red Wings and the Devils, they are going crazy. The Red Wings power play is lethal. Who knew Alex DeBrincat could score goals? I didn't know that.
Shocker.
It's crazy. Dylan Larkin is having an amazing season with DeBrincat. Good lineup there as well. And can I say quickly, shout out Shane Gossespear, bro. I picked him up in fantasy like last week. He's like a point per game defenseman. It's fucking sick.
I don't think he was ever really like bad. I think he just played on bad teams.
The thing is too, like he was good on the Flyers, but then they traded him with like a draft pick. Like they added onto him a sweetener to get him off the team to Arizona.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Ristolainen, who is worse than Gossespear for my money anyway. And then
sure.
I believe Arizona traded Gossespear for a second round pick to I think it was Carolina. So Philly, man. Chuck Fletcher always doing great work over there.
I got a question for you two. Besides the obvious pick, who's been the second most disappointing team for you this year? Because mine, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Hurricanes here.
The second most?
Second most disappointing to start the year.
I don't want to give the same as you because Carolina would be an obvious one because they started very, very slowly.
I think they'll be fine though.
A lot of people might not agree with this because a lot of people think they're washed, but the Penguins, I thought they would, be a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that pick actually. That's a good shout.
That's
just their bottom 6.
It's not good.
Their bottom 6, dude, like It's like how the Leafs were when Dubas was here. They literally didn't do anything. They literally did not do anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
They're
who
there
built
to
that
eat
bottom
minutes.
six? Kyle Dubas.
I know, right? I was thinking the Florida Panthers, but I'm gonna throw them a little bit of a mulligan just because like Sam Bennett's injured, Brandon Montour's injured, Aaron Ekblad's injured, so
It's also
I'll throw them a little bit of a mulligan there.
Even
But
the
just looking through the
Sabres they haven't shown me anything that's like, yeah, we're here, we're ready to take the next step. It's been pretty lackluster.
Tage Thompson has not been great.
He forgot how to play hockey, huh?
Yeah, he's not been
Yeah,
great.
he's broken.
Yeah, except for last night. I think he had 2 goals against
Yeah.
Ottawa, right?
But before that, he was like 1 point in 6 games. Or something.
I was playing the guy who had Thompson in fantasy last week. Amazing, just a free ride, just a free ride.
Yeah,
And
but
then also, sorry,
Go
another
ahead,
question. Tuesday was the staggered start times, all 32 teams in action.
Oh yeah.
The game started every 50 minutes. What did you guys think of that? I thought it was a cool concept. Like I didn't
I
watch
thought-
all the games, but I flipped the channel from time to time.
a little overwhelming, but it's cool.
I think it was cool.
I like it.
Yeah, it was cool.
I
They should
think-
do it more often.
I think the issue is though, I'd like it to be on like a weekend.
Yeah,
Like, you start the games
Yeah.
earlier and then have it like from 12. Have games going for like 12 hours essentially.
And I'll tell you why they will never do that. Because of college football, high school football, and the NFL on Sunday.
Well, they could
I'm
always
thinking on
do
Saturday.
it. They could always do it after the football season. Do it in February. Do it like as leading up
Sure.
to the playoffs.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
no, they
February or
could.
March.
Oh my god, dude! They should do it in February and March because the games are fucking
Terrible,
awful
terrible.
in those 2
Terrible
months,
hockey.
dude. They're so
Okay,
bad.
the first Saturday after the trade deadline.
That'd be
There's an
sick.
idea.
That
That'd be
There's an
sick.
idea.
Yeah.
Because then you see all like the new acquisitions playing right away.
Hire
That'd be
us.
sick. Yep. The Gritcast, let's go.
No, I thought
but
I
yeah.
thought it was cool, but it was stupid that, like, for Canadians, that you could watch one other game other than your local game.
And like Sportsnet has the rights to the games, and they had one game.
Yeah, it was Tampa
and it
and
wasn't
whoever they
the
were
and it
playing.
wasn't the Leafs game.
Yeah.
And then TSN had the Leafs game. It wasn't great
blacked
for
out.
Canadian. It wasn't
See,
great for Canadian. TV.
It's a lot easier if you have NHL center ice.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I do, which I get gouged by my satellite
You-
company,
you
but that's
corporate-
that's
This
another
guy's a corporate
story.
shill. This guy's a corporate shill. It's over. It's over. Go capitalism. Am I
it's
right,
so
Matt?
over.
Am I right, buddy?
It's Jover.
It's over. It's NHL Central over. Okay,
It's
guys.
October.
All right. Jack Hughes is having some insane point production. I oh my goodness, that guy might win the Art Ross Trophy with McDavid being out for 2 weeks. I just wanted to mention that. We don't really have to dive into it. Tyler Toffoli was having, I think, a tiny bit of a slow start. He's scoring. The Devils, I am so afraid of them. I am so scared.
Foley
I'm
on the
nervous.
fantasy team got me
I'm
5
so
goals
scared
in the
of that
last
guy.
2 games.
Dude, even Timo Meyer's starting to pop them a little. So, yeah, it might be
They're gonna pick
it might be over. And like, I don't know what the plan was for like, because you look at Pittsburgh's team, right?
Mhm.
And they added Carlson and stuff. They're never gonna compete with the Devils. You know what I mean? No, like Carolina can compete with the Devils. I don't even know if the Rangers can compete with the Devils. Because like,
But I think, like, in a playoff series, I could see the Penguins beating the Devils. I could. I like the
What?
Devils a lot. Yeah, I could see it.
Is it
I
what's
could not.
what's your main issue with the Devils? Is it goaltending?
I don't have any issue with the Devils. I'm just saying, if the Penguins were to make the playoffs, like for a counterpoint
That's
to
a-
Nick, I think
that's
they
a-
could beat. I could see them winning.
That's a bold take.
I could see them winning. Yeah.
Would it
Playoff
be
I mean,
closer,
I can
man.
see,
I could see it.
I could see any team winning a series. You know, I could like.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't say
could
they're gonna
see
win the Stanley Cup, but
No,
I
but
could
no,
I don't know. It
but I-
sounds like you're gonna go
it. My
there.
issue is though, Darius. Like, sorry, I know this is like very off topic, but like, dude, that bottoms. If we compared bottom sixes to bottom sixes,
Oh, very different.
the Devils would fucking kill them, bro. And like, I would also argue the Devils top 6 over the Penguins top 6 as well. I think.
yeah, but also age is a factor. Although I would never count. Like, I still think Malkin and Crosby have a lot left in them.
Shout out Malkin, by the way. Shout out Malkin.
Yo, he's
Shout out
just like, yo, you know what? His farewell tour, you know. It's like, I'm gonna light
It's
it up
like,
one
fuck
last
it.
time. He was left
Fuck
off
it,
the.
bro.
Did you see that ESPN top 100 list?
He wasn't even on it.
He wasn't even on it.
Like to be fair, in terms of like, I'm like to be devil's advocate here. Like he has been like lacking a little in like being Malkin, but like, hey, bro, you still give him the credit. You still give him the credit. He's only a
Yeah.
top 100 player in the league.
And I
At
think
least.
they what was the other egregious take they had? They had Seth Jones over Quinn Hughes.
Oh my
That
God,
was
no,
that
no,
was bad.
no.
Yeah,
I
As
that
don't
a
wasn't. That's not
care
great.
wait,
what the
no,
argument
no,
is.
wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Come on. I get ESPN is trying, but if you're gonna do that, just don't try at all.
So like, you should take everything any media outlet says in terms of these takes with a grain of salt because they do have to generate clicks somehow. Like I saw a top 10 list where like Austin Matthews was like ninth. It's like, come on, bro.
And I
I
saw
don't
one where
care.
Rupe Hintz was at third. Did you see that
I was,
one?
I was gonna say that.
All right, Rupe, how's he doing this year, Darius? I haven't really
Really
checked in
well,
on it.
and we will get a look at him tonight when they play the
Damn right
Toronto
we
Right.
will.
Raptors.
Damn
Leaf
right we will.
stars.
Damn right we will. All right, guys, let's quickly talk about the NHL decentralizing the draft. It seems like that's gonna go that's gonna happen either this June or next June. And can I say thank fucking God because the NHL draft as a production, like watching it, that shit is boring as hell. Oh my God, 75 dudes go up there. They thank the league. They thank Bettman. They thank the city. They thank the stadium. They congratulate the cup, whoever won the Stanley Cup, and they go with
Which
this.
I hate, by the way. I hate that shit when other teams go, congrats to Vegas. No, man, you're trying to win it too. Why are you congratulating them? I hate that shit,
And then
personally.
And then they go, all right, with this pick, we're going to select this guy. And then he walks from there, walks through everyone, walks by everyone, shakes
Hugs
everyone's
everybody.
hand, shakes everyone's hand. The fucking general manager's kid is there for some reason with a jersey and a hat, hands him the jersey, and they all take that picture with 90 people. Then they all have to walk back to their tables. He has to do an interview. Oh my God, dude. It's one of the most brutal experiences ever. Holy fuck. Matt, are you happy with the way this is going?
Absolutely. Anything to make the draft broadcast much better because the last couple years, after pick number 15, I'm out. Like I'm drained from watching nothing happen. Like you said, 75 dudes walk up to the stage. They think everybody and anybody that they can. And then it's just one guy on the mic. Why do you need everybody else? You do not need everybody else. You just need the general manager. And that's it. You don't need, the Saskatchewan minor league scout there. Who cares? He didn't. That's not where you drafted the kid from.
No,
Like,
it does not matter.
It's
It's
so
I'm
brutal.
very happy with the NBA NFL format where
That-
just the commissioner up there announces everything. That's all you got to do. It's
And
fine.
also,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Also, another worst part of the draft is when they're discussing the prospect, and you got guys saying, "Oh, he's a great skater." You said that about the last 8 guys. Come up with something new in your scouting report.
This guy is a cross between Ovechkin and Crosby. What?
It's like his comparable is Leo Messi.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like what? That makes or who do they compare? It's like
Caulfield.
Caulfield to
Caulfield.
Messi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes no. What they're
No,
both
what-
short.
bro. No, because it'll be like this kid is 19 years old, and you're like, oh yeah, he's a cross between Matthews and Patrick Kane. What the fuck?
So he's going to be the
What are you
greatest
doing?
player who ever lived. Like, it's crazy.
That's insane.
Devil's
But, Darius,
advocate.
think-
Devil's
yeah.
advocate. A lot of people are saying the opposite on Twitter. I saw the last few days where they're like, no, don't get rid of the way it is, whatever. And I will say it's unique where other leagues don't do it this way, right? So it's more unique in that way. And I think I don't know.
I don't think
It really hasn't
it's a lot
gotten that much
better.
attention anyway, but I think that's something cool and unique for the league. However, my actual thoughts on it, yeah, change it. It sucks. 500 people walk up there, take a photo, right? Skip all that shit. Just get the commissioner to do it and get a new commissioner while you're at it. And and fly all the guys you draft out to your city, bring them all in, and do like a video there or do like a broadcast
do it
there
after.
with them. Yeah,
Do
do,
it
all
after.
the interviews there and shit, and then send it to the NHL, and the NHL can post it on their socials. I'm not sitting there for 3 hours anymore because after pick 10, I want to gouge my eyeballs out because it's so boring. There's no trades, and everybody walks around, doing their thing, and then each pick walks from the 310 level down, right? Because I wasn't expecting to get picked. It takes forever. And the second round wasn't even broadcast last year.
Yeah, like rounds
wasn't?
2 through
No.
2 through 10, like it starts at noon and it goes all day. Who sits there all day besides people who are paid to, talk about the game? But even then,
I'm a
that's
big
just a
fan.
drag.
I'm a big fan of Twitter watching the draft. It's actually a better experience.
way better.
It's way better. It's way better because like you have a lot of like cool analysts about the draft prospects who actually seem to know a little bit more about them rather than just saying they skate well and shoot well. I'm sure any NHL player is a decent skater or has a decent shot at the least because they're NHL players. But yeah, that's cool. I'm very excited for this. I think it'll be a better viewing experience. Do you guys think they'll have Bill Daly announcing the picks or Gary Bettman?
Bill Daly, I think
It'll be daily.
Yeah, it probably should be. Although it would be funny. Imagine every time Bettman goes up there, he gets booed. That shit would be fucking hilarious.
That would be funny. Yeah. I mean, he does anyway. Like when he starts the shit.
Yeah.
That'd make the draft so much longer than it is already. Just have Bill Daly go up there.
Yeah. That would be fun. But all right, guys, it's time for Matt's oil spill segment. So guys, the Oilers they're not doing too hot. The Edmonton oil spills, it's a classic Facebook meme, of course. They're not playing that great currently. I did have it pulled up here. If I can go back into the
they're 1-4-1. They're second.
Yeah, they're 1-4-1. Thank you. They're not very good. They've won one game. Evander Kane is complaining about his minutes, even though he's fucking terrible. It helps when I'm not gonna lie, man. When you play with McDavid, you're probably gonna score a little bit more. That's just me though. Connor Brown, I know he tore his ACL, doing a lot of cardio. A lot of that bottom six is doing a lot of cardio. A lot of the defensemen are doing a lot of cardio. Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner aren't saving anything. Jack Campbell had one game where he won, and everyone was like, "All right, they're fixed. The Oilers, they're back."
Yeah, I was one of those people.
McDavid, he's injured 2 weeks. Matt, what the fuck is going on in Edmonton, man?
It's not to sound like cliche here, but it's a team that's obviously lost their identity. Coming into the season, they had all the captain skates. Hey, cup or bust, and they chose bust. It's so frustrating. There's the new defensive system, like I said last episode, with the box N1 system, and every goal against, like when teams are cycling in the zone, we're lost. Nobody knows what to cover, who to cover, what formation they're in, and it just becomes a giant cluster, and it's not fun to watch, even though I will be watching them this Sunday.
Matt, I feel like you're not letting them have it enough. Like, break it down, man. Talk about the players. Like
the players.
Are you? Can I start with this question and then you can get into like all that shit? Like, are you worried? Like, is this an early regular season kind of downward spiral, or like, are you not worried? Like they'll get back on track. Like, where do you see this right now? Is this a symptom of a bigger problem?
See, what's happening right now always happens in December. My solace is it's happening a little earlier this year to start the season. Not ideal. I want to say I'm worried, but it's like, it's the Oilers. Are they going to shape up? Probably not. I hope they do, because looking at the lines here, 11-7, like Woody, I love Jay Woodcroft ever since we hired him, but Matthias Janmark on the first line is not it. You have to reward some of the guys.
Okay. Matt, what I do want to say is, first of all, actually, not to cut you off, but to Darius' question, I think I'd be a lot less worried if McDavid wasn't injured. So that's one. Number two is, Matt, I want you to really get into it, man. Like, talk about each player. Talk about everything, bro. This
player.
This is your space. This is your space to say whatever you want. You were hyping yourself up in the Discord earlier about how you're gonna tear into the Oilers. You're not even doing that, man.
All right.
Where's the emotion, man? You're an Oilers fan. You're going to games next week. You paid a lot of money to travel and go see them, and they stink. Come on, Matt. Let's see something, man. Let's get it.
All right. Oh, you want line by line? You want line by line? Let's get
it.
All right.
Yes, I want everything, bro. Come on. Let's go.
Evander Kane showed up on Minnesota. I think that's a one-hit wonder. He's, ever since his wrist injury, hasn't been good. Leon Draisaitl, I have no qualms about his play. There's so much you can do when the team is on your back. Matthias Janmark is Matthias Janmark. Warren Fogle, Canadian Michael Grabner. If this guy had hands as big as his heart, my God, he'd score 60 every year. Nugent Hyman. I mean, it's the growing pains of the new defensive system. We all know Nuge is very defensively responsible with the new system. Had a bit of a poor game against Minnesota. Hyman, he's trying, man. He really is. Same with Dylan Holloway and Ryan McLeod. Like the forwards that I have no problem with are Nuge, like the healthy ones, obviously McDavid, I have no problems with him, are Draisaitl, Nuge, Hyman, and Holloway. Sometimes Ryan McLeod. He is my boy. But other than that, like, everybody's so lost. Like, just do something. Do something. 1 third period goal all season long. One. And it was against the Wild. Sure, the Wild are an automatic loss, but your captain's out. Do something. Do something. And
they won a game this year 6-1 against Nashville, and they didn't score a third period goal. They didn't score a third period goal.
Like, Nurse having an all right season, but CC, Kulak, and Bouchard, oh my God, Bouchard, what is he on this year? Like, he's not, like, when he was drafted, nobody said, oh, his defensive play is amazing. But do something once in a while, man.
Is he leading the league in defensive points?
I think he's like third, but
doesn't matter.
Like,
doesn't matter.
Every time he's on the goal, on the ice for a goal against, he is nowhere to be found, and he's so weak around the net. It's like, just muscle up. You're a defenseman. He's not a small boy either. He's a big boy. Boss up on him, exactly. And then Soup and Stew. I mean,
okay. Can I say though,
make a save. Make a save once in a while.
If they were good, Soup and Stew would be a cool fucking tandem name.
Oh,
they suck though.
It still is.
So it has no je ne sais quoi, as they say. No aura. No aura.
Yeah.
Matt, I still feel like you're not mad enough though, man. Like, where's your Hulk? Where's your hulking up? I want to see you turn green. I want to see you turn green,
What you gonna do, brother?
What are you gonna do, brother, with my 24-inch python? It's 6 games. I'm sure next week, if they continue to suck ass like they've been doing, I'm gonna get a lot more angry. But right now, like I said, there's just that solace in the back of my mind. We're getting that December slump out of the way, and then it'll be smooth sailing. It'd be nice to have Connor back this Sunday for the outdoor game. Doesn't look like it, and there's no sense in rushing him back. But Nick, I have no like, I don't know, I had no anger built up inside of me like I did last year. Like, all the episodes before we got Ekholm, I was pissed off. I was angry for this team, for Ken Holland to do something with the 2 best players on this planet on your team, and just a whimper. Just a whimper.
They're ass. Everyone,
Matt is showing good patience, I find. Where he's like, you know what? They usually have this slump.
I've been patient for 13 goddamn years. I'm past the point of no return, Darius.
All right.
13.
So
what's the number behind 13? Or what's the reasoning behind 13 years?
13, like Decade of Darkness, like 2010.
Oh,
Paul.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Let's do this real quick. So Matt,
breaking news. Zach Kassian
retired.
Yeah.
Oilers legend.
Oilers legend.
Aren't you an owner of a Zach Kassian jersey, Matt?
2.
Matt is an owner of 2. Okay, but guys, let's get into this. Okay, Matt said Dylan Holloway has looked decent. 0 points in 6 games. He's like Ryan McLeod. 0 points in 6 games.
No,
Derek Ryan. Hold on, Matt. Shut the fuck up for a sec. Derek Ryan. 0 points in 6 games. Matisse Janmark. 0 points in 6 games. Connor Brown. 0 points in 6 games. Oh my goodness. Evander Kane. 1 goal, 2 assists in 6 games. Warren Fogle. 4 points in 6 games. You don't hate that.
Is Fogle playing higher in the lineup?
Yeah, isn't he second line left wing or something now?
Oh my God.
Fogle? But
why?
But look at it, right? You have, like Matt said, Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, point per game players just above. Draisaitl 11 and 6. That's pretty good. But I know he did have that one game against Nashville where he went off. Mm-hmm. McDavid was looking good. Bouchard 8.6 games, but he's lacking defensively. -8. Huge with that information. Always take plus minus with a grain of salt, but that's still not very good. And yeah, Jack Campbell 4.35 goals against average, 8.78 save percentage, and Stuart Skinner 4.29 goals against average and 8.814 save percentage. The bottom 6 to me, well, the Oilers, it seems the defensemen all are just ass. I don't even know why the fuck Adam Ernie's playing. No offense, but I don't know what's Matt. It's just like it seems like they're worse than you're letting on. I know it's early, but it's none of your bottom. They're half these guys have 0 points.
I said it at the start. It's a lack of identity. Every post game presser from Jay Woodcroft, it's like, just got to get back to basics. Like, ditch the new defensive system. Do what you were doing last year. It got you to where you are right now. Well, except for the start of the season. But the reason they switched to a zone defense, a box and one, was because Vegas sort of dismantled the man-to-man in our own zone. But they still played them relatively well. There was no reason to say, hey, maybe we should do this new system when you've been doing this one since the start of Jay Woodcroft's tenure from February 2022.
I find that weird, especially because they're struggling. Like, why wouldn't you go back to the defense they know?
Just go back to what you're used to.
And if you end up playing Vegas again, prepare for that.
Nah, man.
Why are you switching your entire defensive system because you lost the series in 6?
It's like when the Rangers, like, when Tom Wilson destroyed their whole franchise and they traded Pavel Buchnevich for Sammy Blais and got Ryan Reeves just for one guy, and then it's like I don't understand the thought behind changing your entire system. Like, look, you expect to meet Vegas in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the aspirations, or in the first round. Sorry, Western. Or in the playoffs at some point, whenever it is.
Yeah.
You expect to do that at some point, but you still have a long way to go before that happens. Like, get the guy going, then maybe get them in the system. But I don't believe how many forwards on this team have no points. Like, what are they doing? Do something.
It's just a passive effort from everybody here. It's like they expected to cakewalk their way to the Cup final this year because every media experts are, the Oilers are going to be a well-oiled machine, no pun intended. And then they come out of the gate flat, like nothing, absolutely nothing. Sure, some of the box scores, like they lost the Jets in overtime, but no third period goals and just a lack of effort after 40 minutes. We're up. It's like no identity. I don't know what this team is.
They suck.
That's a bad place to be. No identity.
And it was the game after the after the Jets game when some people on Twitter were like, "This is it. This is the game that Leon and Connor decide." Nope. And then, well, I wouldn't be at that point yet, but my God, if it continues to be like this, it might. But I don't want to say that.
All right, Matt. Let's talk about your trip, man. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm heading out to Edmonton tonight, and then tomorrow I'm heading off to Red Deer to go to the Portland Winterhawks Red Deer Rebels game. Probably not doing anything else in Red Deer because what is there to do in Red Deer? Couldn't tell you. Saturday I'm doing the Heritage Fan Park, whatever they call it, like the WrestleMania Access by Heritage Classic style. And
it's
then
like
going
a fan fest, right?
Yeah, just a stereotypical fan fest, win prizes, get your picture with the cup. Grant Fuhr is going to be there. Probably try to meet him. And then I'm going to Portland. Portland's going up to Edmonton, going to Portland, Edmonton at Rogers Place. And then Sunday, the big shebang, I'm heading to the Heritage Classic at Commonwealth Stadium between the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. Calgary, Edmonton, in Edmonton.
So, in Edmonton, no McDavid for the Oilers, no Rasmus Anderson for the Flames. But
wow, that's even.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm trying to make a story here because the Flames are also still bad. So yeah, that's certainly Matt. We'll get some stuff from your trip. Hopefully, some videos we'll insert into next week's show or something. But yeah, we'll talk about.
We can even make a full video.
Yeah, if you get enough content, Matt. Yeah, Matt, you should blog the whole thing, even in the airport.
You can't get a GoPro on my forehead.
Yeah. You're gonna be walk through security and be like, "Can you take that off?" No, don't you know I'm Matt from the Gritcast?
I'm from the Gritcast.
My fake laminated media pass.
It just says media.
I am media.
Matt media.
So yeah, it should be fun. I'll have lots of stuff to talk about next week on the show. Yeah, I mean it's an outdoor game. I'm gonna freeze my ass off, but I'm hopefully gonna have fun doing it.
Man, make sure you get a hot chocolate before you sit down, so you can at least hold something warm.
Yes. Good idea. Good idea.
So have you guys never been?
Have you guys never been to an outdoor game?
No, I just don't. I don't really want to go.
Okay, I would say you freeze your ass off, but I would say if you can go experience that once in your life. That's my.
I'm gonna do one in one game only.
Yeah. It just seems to me like none of the seats are amazing.
No, they're all terrible.
You know what I mean?
They're all terrible, and
I feel like my seats are pretty good though. It's a lot better.
See.
It's a lot better in a football stadium than it is in the baseball stadium because of the diamond shape. It does not do a hockey rink any favors compared to a football stadium.
No, and you're in a football stadium. I watched it at BMO. the seat. If you've ever been to BMO, they are not seats. They are like I can't even.
Aren't you
describe
near
it.
the lake too?
Oh,
Yes.
it was horrible.
Oh.
Beside the lake.
The word, by
it's
the way,
beside the lake.
building that field there, awful. Why? Build it
That's
literally
where
It's
anywhere.
summer sports. It's for
That's
summer
where
sports.
that's
to
where
be
the old
fair.
exhibition stadium was. They
It
knocked
should
that
be.
down and built
It
BMO.
should be.
That's where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that
Good,
what you just said?
good conversation, gentlemen. Good
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
All right,
the
guys.
old exhibition stadium.
Yeah, that,
And then Darius didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't,
That's
sorry.
why
Yeah,
that's
so
why they had
the
it
whole
built there.
the whole area is called exhibition, like the whole area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh, okay.
CNE,
Oh, okay.
like
Exhibition
like
go.
even like exhibition go right before after
Union.
Mimico before Union. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get guys. Let's get into the final segment here. The fun segment we like to call it. Keep it a little lighthearted to end the show. Always good to end it on a good mood. Before we do that, thank you guys so much for listening and watching all our content over the past 2-3 weeks. It's been a lot of work, but it's slowly started to die down at least, which is nice. That's always nice. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Our Instagram, I believe, hit 100 followers, so that's cool.
It did.
Good for us. Good for us.
We're almost there on TikTok as well. So thanks for following and
for interacting,
showing your your support by calling us idiots in the comments all the time.
No, I always
we're your idiots though. That's the
We are
thing,
your
fellas.
idiots.
I always love when because usually the clips start with me talking because I'm introducing this segment,
Yes.
and all the comments are just like, man, this first guy talking is a fucking dumbass, and I'm like, you're fucking right, I am.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's go.
let's go.
You know,
Like,
I saw one
dude,
comment that was like, it was about me, where it's like the third guy constantly has the worst takes, and I'm like, you've watched enough videos to know that, so thank you.
Or what was it? Our defenseman list. This
think it
comment
was.
said
Yeah.
all three of you have dog shit lists. I was like, yeah, we do.
And you watched it. Thanks.
and then no, my favorite thing is I love replying to them because I'll be like, thanks for watching, user 13457923345.
Yeah, one guy commented he was literally username 3271780. Like,
First name, bunch of numbers. That's what every username is.
terrible, brutal.
All right.
Anyway, yes.
So the new women's hockey league, the PWHL, looks like they announced their teams today. Darius already knows what the Toronto team is, but we're gonna give we're gonna see. I don't even know. Honestly, like looking at these lists, I don't think you're gonna guess any of them. I know you got lucky with the Venatri Wild, but Matt, I don't think you're gonna guess any of these. But I'll give you one guess just for fun, and then we'll react to the names. I'll give each of you one guess.
Cool.
Okay, so the Toronto team, Darius, you already know what it is.
Yes.
Matt, what do you think the name of the Toronto PWHL team is? This is alliteration. This name has alliteration, so I'll give you that hint.
Good hint.
The Toronto Titans.
Nope, it is not the Toronto Titans. It is actually the Toronto Torch. Not plural.
Oh,
just
okay.
Toronto Torch. Matt, what do you think of that name?
That's all right. I haven't seen the logo.
I think they could
Oh,
do
the
something
logo's
cool
it's
with
probably-
the logo.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no logos, just
There's
names.
no logo, yeah. It was just names.
Toronto Torch.
They could do something with the
it's-
T. Like,
It's
I think they could
different.
do
Just
something
make the
there.
T on fire. That's how
Yeah.
you do it.
And
Have
I
it
will
shaped,
say,
have
Matt,
it shaped like the Olympic torch.
Matt, for all of these, none of the names are plural. There's no plural names in any
No
of these.
Weird.
Oh, that makes it so much more difficult. All right, fire
Yeah,
away.
so all right, the next team was gonna be Montreal. They are the Montreal.
There goes
What?
my
Darius
idea.
and Matt. Darius and Matt, you each get one guess. They're not plural.
I was going to go with Maroons as like a throwback, right? But it's clearly there's no plural. So
I don't know, the Montreal Manic.
Okay, it's not alliteration. It's not alliteration.
okay.
Oh.
okay. See, I was in that mode too. I was in that.
You guys aren't
mind
gonna
thing.
guess this. I
Really?
would bet all my savings aren't gonna guess this.
Montreal Storm.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Matt.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I already went Manic
Yeah.
before you said it
Mont-
was an alliteration.
You went
It's gonna
manic?
be-
I'm
it's
sorry,
gonna
man.
It's
Shut up.
it's gonna be the it's gonna be the Montreal Echo.
That's stupid.
Wow. I would not have guessed that.
The
Yeah.
Montreal Echo.
Dude, if you guys guess any of these, I'll be surprised. I will genuinely
I
be
think they
surprised.
can do some cool, like so far, they can do some cool things with the names, like logo wise. But we'll continue.
Okay,
Just have
All
their
these-
whole sound system echo during games.
all these names All these names are no alliteration, and none of them are plural. So
Okay.
I will say that for the rest of them. Next is the Ottawa blank.
Go first, Darius.
Force.
Nope.
The Ottawa. Oh, wasn't there a soccer team, the Fury?
I
Ottawa
don't know,
Fury?
actually.
I'm not the Ottawa Fury. It's going to be the Ottawa Alert.
Again, stupid. Ottawa Alert.
That is my least favorite so far.
So every time they score, like there's a one of them like Amber Alerts on your phone. It just overrides everything. Goal!
with the caution
Goal!
symbol,
No. Every time they score, they play like, you guys know, like that RDC video where it's like, we have to go save the baby. Come on, and they like all get in the car and like, yeah, it's just that one. But yeah, the Ottawa. So it's the Toronto Torch, the Montreal Echo, and the Ottawa Alert. Next is
the Torch is the only good name so far.
Yeah.
Next is the Minnesota blank. Now, guys, I'm gonna give you a really easy hint for this one. This one is named after a Great Lake.
Oh, great! Oh God, Minnesota.
Oh, I think that's easy. I think that's easy. Go ahead, Matt.
Minnesota Superior.
Yeah.
Yes, the Minnesota
Okay.
Superior.
Okay.
That is gonna be.
I was gonna say Minnesota Huron.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Lake Ontario.
Minnesota, Ontario.
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah, that's the name. Do you guys like that name, Minnesota Superior?
I don't mind that one. Yeah.
It'll be ironic if they finish last.
Okay, next is gonna be this one is a little Halloween themed. You could say that'll be a hint for you guys. The Boston blank. Remember, no plural, no alliteration.
Boston.
Spooky themed Boston.
Spooky?
Oh.
It's not the Boston Spooky.
I know. Yeah.
Like Phantoms would be plural, like the Boston Phantom.
No, it's the Boston Wicked.
Oh, I guess.
Boston Phantom would have been better.
My name is superior to yours, just like Minnesota. So
Wicked
all
is a
right,
cool
guys.
name for a team. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't hate that either. I don't
Yeah.
hate that
Unless
either.
it's like a Wizard of Oz theme, that'd be stupid.
Their
The
concourse
Wicked
is
Witch of
just
the
like,
West.
bro, their concourse is just like a yellow brick road. The whole thing.
Yeah, no way.
around
It's all
the-
painted and shit. Yeah.
Okay, the last team was gonna be the New York blank.
Jet.
No.
New York Jet.
The New York.
New York Jets.
Go Jets. No, I will go with Storm on this one.
Matt?
Like New York, it could be anything. The New York Force. I think I said Force before.
Okay, low key, Matt. Yours actually isn't, like, it's far off, but it's not that far off. It's the New York Sound.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. No, that's all right.
So yeah, the names are the Toronto Torch, the Montreal Echo, the Ottawa Alert, the Minnesota Superior, the Boston Wicked, and the New York Sound. So interesting that they didn't go any kind of plural names. Seems like it's pretty standard for teams, but yeah, it should be interesting for the PWHL, which is cool. Hopefully they're getting into action soon here. Should be interesting. I'm glad. There's obviously a lot of ethics behind it, but I'm glad a league is forming again. So that should be pretty fun. But the last thing we're gonna talk about here, I had it in the notes, is I do want to talk about the Spider-Man game, because that shit is way too much fun. Darius, did you beat the main story by now?
I 100% of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As did I.
Which, can I say,
game-
like, so much less tedious than the first one, by the way. It's so
Yeah,
much easier
no,
to
it
play
is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they kind of like spoon feed you the platinum trophy. I wish it was a little harder, but it's fine.
I still need
it's
2
fine.
trophies, but we'll get there.
Yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, a lot of fun, great game. We're not
Great
gonna do any
story.
spoilers just yet. Great story. I posted like a bunch of screenshots on my Twitter. They weren't spoilers. If you think there were spoilers, you just didn't watch the trailers. That's
Yeah,
what I'll say
literally.
about that. Like, I had some people being like DMing me on Instagram and being like, "You're spoiling the game." I'm like, "Did you not watch any trailers? Like, not a single one. Like, any content I posted was in the trailers."
You would have
So,
seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Great game. Matt, are you much of a superhero guy at all? I've never really like.
I was younger when I was younger. Like I think the last Marvel movie I've seen was the latest Ant-Man. And then before that was Spider-Man Far From Home. So recently, not much of a superhero guy. I'm not gonna lie, fellas.
Oh no, they're not. Sorry.
No, Far From Home.
I thought he said
Far
No Way
From
Home. I thought he said No Way Home. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like, aren't
Far
those the
From
last
Home.
2 movies that came out? Like,
No, Far From Home was like 2019. Yeah, it was like
yeah, it was wild.
August 2019.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
that's,
completely unrelated, but as you mentioned that, there's way too much Marvel stuff out right now. They're doing
There
way too much.
It's very like I want to get into it, but it's very like intimidating.
Yeah.
I think they recently said they're gonna try and tone it down. The new Loki show was pretty good. I've actually enjoyed it.
I haven't started
so-
because there's a new movie coming out in 2 weeks. There's a lot.
Okay,
There's a lot.
I do. No disrespect. Do not care about that movie. Do
I
not
know,
care.
and it's not projected to do very well, but it's out, and they're gonna put something in it where it's like, well, you should have watched this to understand our new show next year.
Fuck off.
See, that's the thing. They have like, hey, if you didn't watch this show, but you want to watch this show, you need like the
have to
canon.
watch it.
You need the background story.
It's true.
Like
Or-
that's kind of
or-
cool if you have time.
Or you go on YouTube and you search. You just look up a nice little YouTube summary. Because my
Everything you
friends do
need
it
to
all the time.
know until Loki
In 10
season
minutes.
2. Yeah.
In like 10 minutes,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is nice. But yeah, the Spider-Man game was good. 100% recommended. Instead of buying NHL 24, I bought that game. The best decision of my
Yes.
goddamn life.
Yes.
Let's go.
Dare I say, Insomniac with this game has raised the bar for video games in general. It was so enjoyable to play.
But Darius, you can't get a slice of pizza or hail a cab.
You can't go to the Subway. Did you see the meme where they're like, you want to play Man 2?
Yeah, it's just a picture of Peter and Miles.
Yeah. You want to play
Bro wants to
Man
play-
2. Because somebody
bro
was
wants to play
complaining
Man.
you can go down the subway like stairs, but then it'll kick you out because it's a non-playable area. People were like, this is ridiculous. You should be able to ride the subway. They're like, bro, you can swing around New York and Queens.
You can fast travel.
Yeah.
You can go to
You
like the
can
different
travel.
boroughs.
You can
Yeah.
go to the different boroughs this time. They have a bigger map. The map is insane. The fact, like, you're
Yeah.
swinging around in Queens, I'm like, this is stupid. Like,
Yeah,
Matt,
I
if you-
watched
Matt-
some of Click play the game. So
yeah.
Matt, if you're not gonna watch any of the movies, you should play all 3 Spider-Man games. That's what I
all
would do.
3.
Yeah,
I just know 1 and 2.
No, there's
What's
one.
the other
there's
one?
One-
Miles Morales.
Oh
In between.
shit. Okay.
But like it's like you can play those like slowly. You don't have to obviously no life it like I did.
No.
But yeah, dude, they're great games. I think some of the best games I've played easily. But I would recommend them.
I think
Spider-Man,
I've got the first one. I got that one
it's
for free.
Miles Morales is free on the PS Plus thing too, so you already have the first 2
Oh,
There you go.
all right.
already.
That's
And the new
simple.
one just came out, so
Yeah.
you will have to pay for that.
I will
Boxing
wait.
Day, Boxing Day tap in, baby.
We will
Boxing
be
Day tap
seated.
in.
We will be seated. Speaking of
But, yeah,
NHL, they released a new patch, and there's more things wrong with it now.
Like the 6-minute
but
minor
Darius-
penalty.
But Darius, in a future update, it will be fixed.
Hey, man, call me when it's done. I'll buy it.
In a future update, it will be fixed, guys. That's all they say in the replies.
Call me.
We are looking into this.
As soon
We are
as it's
looking
done,
into this.
we are investigating.
We are investigating this issue, and
Yes.
it will be fixed in a future update.
In a future
in a
update.
late October update, in an early November update, in an update.
Did you guys
Don't
know
worry,
the
guys.
game is NHL 24 and the NHL season started a month ago?
Yeah, they put out an unfinished game. It's
do you
fine.
do that?
But guys,
Give us
Well,
your
guys-
money.
All right,
and we'll
I
finish it
got
at
a
some
flight
point.
to catch in 40
Matt,
minutes.
Matt has to go. We're gonna let him go. All right, guys.
All right.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Wish Matt a safe flight in the comments. Wish him a great trip.
You don't have
Wish,
to.
wish Darius a happy belated birthday. That was
Yeah,
a few
thanks,
days ago.
guys. Thanks.
And everyone, if you're listening to this in the day, have a great day. If you're listening at night, have a great night. And if you're listening to this while driving, always try to safe, guys. For the Gritcast, my co-host Matt, Darius, enjoy your weekend. Have a great week. And yeah, NHL's back. We're back. Everyone's back. We'll see you guys next week.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.